11:59 at Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. We come to you live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 Pacific for about an hour, 90 minutes each day. We do 3 gun-related topics, different topics throughout the week. We run it live on YouTube, and we simulcast it over at gunchannels.com. We're watching the comments that are coming in from the people that are watching us live over on Gun Channels and on YouTube. Every once in a while, we'll take the audio from the show, and we'll post it up on iTunes as a podcast. So we encourage anybody who's listening to the show now or in the future, leave us some feedback on whatever platform it is you're listening to us on. That way we know where you're at and who's out there. And hopefully that helps us, the show, get recommended to more listeners. And that's one of our goals. So we do appreciate that help. We've got 4 hosts. 3 of us are here today, and we have a guest. So we got Bob jumping in from Canada. Thanks for joining.
Hey, glad to be here, eh?
Thanks. So we got Smeggy jumping in. I don't know where you are. Where are you?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here with Mel the Nut.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Right on. Running us. I'm down here in Arizona. They won't tell us where they are, and we are on episode 365. So we've made a complete revolution. Are we done? Like, is this the last one? So today's Friday. It's Gun Tech, finish comparison, blued, stainless, Parkrise, Cerakote, etc. Then we'll be talking about the gun biz, how to find the next big thing that will sell. Then we'll be talking about alternative gun topics. Every day we talk about gun of the day, gun shop of the day, movie of the day, things like that. But before we dig into the show, we usually take a break right here at the beginning, see if anything happened overnight, anything worth talking about.
I don't know. That would entail me paying attention to what's going on in the world, and that doesn't happen often.
Well, there's always an opportunity for people listening to throw in anything that they might want to contribute as far as what happened overnight. And yeah, I've been having my nose into the books, and I don't know, it's Smeggy sounds like he's been traveling, so it looks like we're all not paying attention to the news of the day, but that's good because our show doesn't revolve around news of the day. All right, well, I guess if there's nothing else, we'll dig into it. It's episode 365. We're talking about gun tech, so finish comparison. I think we're talking about metal finishes, blued, stainless, Parkrise, Cerakote. Where do we go with this one?
I think everybody knows that I'm going to say blued is the only way to go because that's the proper way to finish for a gun.
Hey, sorry guys, we're having a real hard time hearing you. So I think I heard you were talking to us, but I didn't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking about finishes on guns and the types. Bob's saying he likes blued so much. Why do you think blue is so good?
Because that's the proper finish for a gun.
All right. Well, besides tradition, then, what is so good about the bluing as a mechanical
Bob
process?
likes a blue teacup.
Because it's pretty. And it protects the gun. Kind of. But mostly I like it because it's pretty.
All right. Well, as far as I know, bluing is one of the least expensive ones. It's just a controlled rust. All you have to do is boil it in salt water, basically, and then pull it out and let it rust for a bit, and then put it into a neutralizer, soap, and then clean it off in water. And I figured they did bluing because it was so cheap.
Well, and it's also just been the way they've always done it. And there
Well,
weren't.
as far as metal surfacing goes, it doesn't add anything really. I mean, it probably adds something, but it doesn't add much, measurable dimension. So if you're building something to tolerance, and these guys were all, when they're building guns, right? Guns are the development of machine tolerances and interchangeable parts. It's all the same thing. So these guys are learning these new materials and these new processes. I would think bluing's attractive as opposed to some of the other ones in our list here, Cerakote and things that are applied to the surface, which are going to change the dimension, right? So when you got parts interacting, now you have to take into account for that process, and then that process has to be consistent and so that you can depend on its dimension.
Yeah, because you got to remember, this wasn't in the old days when stuff was built to Glock tolerances where, close was good enough. This was precision machining.
I just want to throw my 2 cents in here. I like bluing just because of the look. I mean, I don't know if it protects better than the other ones or whatever, but if I had to put my vote in, I like the bluing. It just looks nice. Although I'm not opposed to like some crazy, some type of crazy finish with like cool paint job or whatever with like Cerakote or something. I don't mind that either for a toy gun.
Right. But a real gun should be blued like John Browning did his. Although case hardening is kind of nice too.
All right, well, this is gonna be an exciting show. So I guess we'll move along. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about any of the ones. I don't paint guns for the most part. If I do, I just spray paint them. So none of the fancy stuff.
Did you say just spray paint the thing? Is that what you're recommending?
Well, that's what I've done. I don't recommend it or not recommend it. I'm just saying,
Crown can of cry line. Get
Yeah.
the real tough one.
Yeah, the $2 paint job. That's cool.
most
Yeah.
of the time, it's to change.
He's talking about AK-47s though, so it doesn't really matter how you finish them. They're always going to be crude.
Oh yeah, for an AK, I'm all about it, dude. That'll be fun. Put some flames on the side or something. Cut out a little stencil. Get some red spray paint. A little bit of yellow.
Blue or red.
Yeah, because it really doesn't matter. It's just an AK. It's not like it's a, expensive quality gun.
All right, so on the gun channel side, they're saying, let's see, Robbie said hard chrome is the way to go. I know chrome is one of those ones that looks good, but then it does change the dimension, right? Clover Tech saying blue requires so much care. Susceptible to the elements, etc. Grain for range guns and safe cleans, but no longer the utilitarian option, in his opinion. The early cloak bluing, something of beauty, Robbie saying. Then they brought up case hardening.
What about that finish that kind of makes everything look like gold? What is that thing called?
Titanium nitride.
There you go. Yeah, titanium nitride. I knew it was titanium something. And that looks pretty cool. And I hear that's super tough and it holds up against a bunch of stuff. And it adds a little bling,
Now your Nicolas Cage.
Are we all sitting here in silence? I'm
Right.
sorry, we're not contributing that much. It really is hard to hear. I'm trying to help out, but I actually think I might jump out because this isn't working very well for us.
All right. Well, thanks for jumping in, Smeggy. Yeah, I just found out that I didn't put a bucket in the right place for one of my leaks. I've changed that. So we're done with finishes. We'll move on to gun biz and how to find the next big thing that will sell. So before we jump into the gun biz, though, we usually take a break between the first and second segment of the show each day. Take the members over at Gun Channels. Gun Channels is a place we built a while back. It's a community. It's focused on firearms. Lots of stuff to do over there. I encourage you to check it out. Enjoy it and hang out for a bit and chat with people. Since it's driven by members, we feature a member every day. And today it's Foos. So it's CM Foos, one of the competition shooters over on Gun Channels. Brings a lot of that stuff to the conversations when he comes around, as well as a lot of reloading knowledge and I guess milcert, so in AK stuff. So he's got lots of interest in firearms. Been doing gun-related stuff for sure for a long time. So also joins up. Met up with Smeggy before. Met up with me and others in Tulsa. Met up with some of the other guys at different events and competitions. So one of the more active Gun Channels members as well. So when we built Gun Channels, we really had no concept that it would turn into something where people would meet up in real life and hang out, and, have friends that kind of merge between virtual and real life. So, Foos is an excellent example of one of the people that took it to the next level, and always looking forward to seeing where it's going to go. I'm sure it'll be people like Foos that take it.
For sure, Foos is a great addition to the Gun Channels family, for sure. And heck of a nice guy.
You met him?
Oh, did I meet Foos? I've met so many guys.
You would have met him in Tulsa, if anywhere, I would imagine.
No, I don't think I met him at Tulsa. No.
He lives like 3 hours from Tulsa.
Yeah, no, I don't think he could make Tulsa the year I was there.
All right. Well, so now we'll dig into the gun biz and we'll solve gun business for them. How to find the next big thing that will sell. So we find them the next big thing that will sell.
Yeah, well, I wish I knew, because I would find it and sell it and make some money. So kind of tough. How do you do that?
Well, I think lots of new things have come along, so I think we'll see lots of new things coming along continually, especially with 3D printers and the sharing of concepts and plans and stuff on the 3D sharing sites, and then just that element to it is getting people to realize they don't need to be in the business as a manufacturer in order to create a product. So I think that's going to facilitate a lot of new stuff. But what about what is the next?
Well, yeah, and that's the tough question, right? That's kind of the $1 million question, because if you know the answer to that, you can pretty much say you got it made.
Man, what's going on with my arm? All right, so how do they find the next big thing? I don't know. I think people are going to be chasing around, what's been selling for sure. But look at Taurus. They came out with that curve gun. That was kind of crazy. Came out with the Judge. That was kind of crazy. I think the Judge was successful for them. So I don't know how they came up with that, but I think they're one of those companies that's out there doing it. Keltec, I think, is another one. Look at that shotgun with the 2 barrels, or the 2 mags. I don't know if Bob's here or what, but this is boring. So hopefully people will chat on the...
Didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, no, Keltec's quite innovative. I actually like a lot of their stuff. I know some of their pistols don't have the best reputation, but I mean, I don't know. It seemed the ones I've fired seemed okay, and they worked. They went bang when you pulled the trigger, and yeah, there's some kind of neat stuff there. It's something that you didn't see every day, unique and different from what everybody else has got. So I actually quite like Kel-Tec stuff. At least it's out there, unlike just regular traditional. Hardly ever change the gun for 100 years. Although,
Yeah, like a Beretta.
Yeah.
So they basically take the same design over and over and over. They just
Smith and Wesson.
no, Smith and Wesson does change reluctantly. They change when they have to, for sure, but they do change. So Everest is saying colored tannerite and then tannerite clay doves. I think it's tannerite on green.
Mm.
But that made me think of the it was Fiocchi, I think. It did the what do you call the light sticks? Galliumide, glowing sticks or
No, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. But yeah, as far as guns go, yeah, there's some manufacturers out there who are kind of on the bleeding edge, you could say. Which is, quite interesting. However, I mean, yeah, I don't know, there's not a whole lot you can go into about it. So other than, okay, so I don't know, how do you, like, I think the question is, how do you find the next, oh, it looks like we lost G-Webs. Well, hopefully he'll be back right away. I guess the question was, so how do you find the next big thing that's going to sell? Geez, I don't know. Wish I did. Those people who come up with those things, they tend to make themselves a fortune. But as to how you come up with it, so you got me. Anybody knows, let me know. Anybody knows what the next big thing is, let me know. I wouldn't mind getting in on the ground floor.
with that.
Yeah, you're back.
All right, great. I think I got hit by lightning.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Storms.
All right, so
Storms, eh?
no, that was just out of nowhere. It's kind of cool.
Hmm.
All right, so you're still talking about the next big thing?
Yeah, I was just saying that, I have no idea what the next big thing is going to be. I wish I did, or, get in on it, but yeah, it's kind of, you're rolling the dice, right?
No, I'm not connected. Am I connected?
Yeah. Didn't hear you say anything.
So,
but you're there.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get anything else to connect. So we're connected, but none of my other stuff's connected. So I'm just gonna have to wing it. So I guess, well, I was saying like Kel-Tec and some other.
Same place. So I don't know if we'll be able to keep this going. We'll keep trying, but so we may have some just spots where I'm the only one here. And it's just kind of a bummer, but say la vie. So besides next new gun topic, like I say, I mean, you were just going to talk about, Caltech's doing some new stuff, but I really don't know what to go beyond that. I mean, I think there used to be a lot more creativity back in the day, especially look at some of those older guns I've been bringing up in the gun of the day, and some of those are quite innovative and for their day, for their time especially. I just don't know if there's that much more. I guess the next thing's going to be what, laser pistols, like directed energy, or maybe electromagnetic, or what do you call it? Where they use electromagnetism to fling a projectile.
That's the next. That might be the next. Oh, I'm getting weird echo. Is that me or from you?
I don't know. Hang on.
Anyway, so that might change in technology, but I don't think that'll be the next big things that sells. Something that, the next thing that sells will be a lot smaller stuff than that, right?
That's what I think, yeah. But I have no idea what it could be. I mean, we have so much stuff out there now, and you get stuff all the time that, oh, it's a new big thing, and then a year later you never hear about it anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what the next thing's going to be.
So there was wow, what the hell? There was an addition of polymer to the revolvers. That was a big thing. Been pretty popular. Pretty people have been buying a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole plastic gun thing is here to stay, unfortunately.
All right, well, so we'll go on to the next one. So we blame Smeggy and Dano for this because we don't have nothing to add to these. Alternate gun topic: how much ammo do we have on hand? Otherwise, we can talk about gun of the day or the gun movie, or something else. So, Open Range is the movie.
What's the movie?
Open Range.
I'm not sure I know that one. Who's in it?
We're looking. It's from 2003, and it's got Robert Duvall, Kevin Costner, and Annette Bening.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. That was pretty good. Yeah, there's some good gunfights in it.
Former gunslinger wears up arms when he and his capital crew are threatened by a corrupt lawman.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That based on true. Is it based on true story or anything?
Not that I'm aware of, but I think it's just a good western. Good shootouts. One of Kevin Costner's better movies.
Yeah, looks like a typical western type of movie. Guy's minding his business, and that Benning comes along, needs to be rescued, and then he beds her.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it would have been like back in the olden days.
Oh yeah, that's how women said thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like about 22 million. It brought in 14 million on opening day. It grossed 58 million, so they made money on it. Must have been good.
Yeah. It sounds like it was successful.
So he, the cinematographer, was picked by Kevin Costner because he worked as a cameraman on Dances with Wolves.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie. Dances with Wolves. Yep. Nothing wrong with that movie.
All right, and then I don't know if I remember this movie or not. I must have seen it. I'm sure I've seen it. I just don't remember it. And it's got a 7.5 out of 10 rating. So that's your movie of the day. We try to think of a gun-related movie every day and tell you about them so that you can watch them on Netflix or Amazon or wherever you watch movies. So we all have that problem. You go to watch something and you got a million choices and you can't think of something that you want to watch. So hopefully we give you some ideas during the shows for movies that you haven't seen it in a while, or maybe you haven't seen it all. Well, let's see. Over on the Gun Channel side or the YouTube side, it looks like they're having some trouble with the Hangouts. Well, I know I'm having trouble, but it's because it's raining here, and I have an issue when it rains and there's wind. It'll wiggle my wire, and then I have bad connection. Ammo equals too much. And I think they're talking about prepping now, and then we'll go over to the Gun Channel side. Pistol caliber carbines, Robbie said. That's probably a good point. I think we'll probably see a rise in that kind of stuff as we see more shooters, especially with more 3-gun and more just fun recreational type of stuff, competition shooting, or I guess what do you say, like in games, different types of steel to buy to shoot at. You don't want to waste a bunch of rifle ammo on it.
Yeah, because pistol, pistol caliber carbines are nothing new, but they used to all be submachine guns, right?
No. Pistol caliber carbines were from the 1890s, 1850s, when they would build the big knives down into carbines. So that's been, as soon as they built rifles, they built carbines of whatever kinds there were.
That's true.
So yeah, they're definitely not new, but I could see them developing, and I could probably see them potentially being in the running for the next big thing, especially when you talk about ATF being wishy-washy about braces and everything else.
Yep.
Wishy-washy about forward bird grips, because then H&K MP5Ks would be all the rage. That's a 9mm I could appreciate.
Yeah. Sten.
A Sten?
Yeah. Sten guns are cool.
You don't need anything for a Sten. You can just make a pistol Sten anytime you want. Semi-auto pistol Sten. It should cost you about $6. That's what they cost during World War II, right?
Yeah, about that.
So for inflation, it costs you about $36 to make a Sten right now. You just have to make it semi.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, so that solves the gun business for today also. So that Sten will be the next big thing. Pistol Stens. 9mm people buy anything, even a piece of aluminum with some notches in it. All right, so then what? We're going to talk about a gun shop? Gun shop that we've been to lately. What was the first gun shop we went to?
Ops, wasn't it?
We went up in Phoenix, and then we came down here.
Right, yeah.
We went to that other side of town. I don't remember when we started going to gun shops.
Oh, boy. I'm trying to think of the first ones we went to.
Maybe when we took a drive around down south.
I think so, yeah.
So that was probably Sarge's one then,
I think so.
because that's usually it coming down out of Benson.
Yep.
So if we leave, every once in a while, Bob and I have done this twice, I guess. I've done it, I don't know, a couple more times since I've lived here. We'll drive south out of Tucson, and there's not that many towns in southern Arizona. So, I mean, there's towns, but there's not that many towns with stores or any number of people. So so we head out south out of Tucson, which is the largest of them, and head down towards Benson, which is basically just the next stop on the highway, and then head south towards Tombstone. Everybody knows what Tombstone is. So that Benson, I don't even remember the name of the town because I don't ever pay attention. So anyway, we stopped there, and that's where the Sarge's sidearms is, I think. And I think Bob was driving, so I was looking up on the Google, and there was a one across the street, like a uniform supply that had just gone out of business or just wasn't open, and then soon after went out of business.
Yep.
Sarge's, and at the time we visited the first time, which was the first time I visited with this owner. I visited it before with the other owners, but it was still in the process of like becoming a gun shop and not so much a tack shop. And tack and chaps and shit out there, leather coats and everything else, purses and satchels and stuff. So they had a lot of that stuff in the main like store area, and then guns around the perimeter. And yeah, super friendly people though. And then I forget what they were doing, but if I remember right, they kind of asked if we needed anything, and then went back to leaving us alone to look around, and didn't rush us out or nothing necessarily. Didn't been here all day either.
No,
And,
I do remember the old guy behind the counter. He had a Browning high power on, I think, though.
or I remember him having one in the cabinet, and you were drooling all over it, I think.
Yeah, and
Like
then
that.
I said that's my favorite gun, and he showed me that's what he was carrying
Oh, okay.
with like fancy
So that's my Bob.
fancy guns.
So that was early, well, probably late 15 or early 16. Hard to remember now. We probably have it written on gunshowloophole.tour.com though, and that's how we could probably verify it, because that's where we've been archiving our shop tours or our shop visits. So we're going to be oiling up that machine again and checking out more gun shops, and every day we'll be featuring one here on the show. And that was the first one that Bob and I, like I say, either 15 or 16, early 16 or late 2015. And that was down, just going south out of Arizona, out of Tucson, towards Tombstone, Arizona. And a nice little shop if you're ever on I-10 heading east or west, really, and you're just outside of Tucson on the east side, and you figure you need some ammo because you want to go hunting or something, or you just figure it's a good time to stop and spend some cash at a gun shop, you couldn't pick a better one. It's a nice guy, nice shop. Sarge's Sidearms, I think it's called. Right. So with that, I guess we'll move along and say thanks to the couple of people that are watching today. I don't know if people aren't watching because of Smeggy or if people aren't watching because of Dano's not here. They watching
Well, we know the ladies aren't watching because Dano's not here, but
well, we don't have many people watching today, so hopefully that's not a trend, and if, we'll find out if it has something to do with a connection issue or what. But we want to thank the people that did show up today to listen to the show, and we'll move on along. We got the gun of the day. Bob usually talks about.
we do have a gun of the day. I just had to unmute myself. Today we're talking about the Apache Knuckle Duster Pepper Box. Antique French gun, knife, brass knuckles, all in one. Very cool. And speaking of innovative guns, it was quite innovative for its time. When you think about it, it's it's a firearm that's also a set of brass knuckles, and then you unfold it. The brass knuckles become the grip, and then it also had a double-edged dagger that would fold out the front and lock. So you could, punch, shoot, stab, all with one implement. I think it was like a 5mm pin fire, so rather anemic caliber. That's probably why you needed the brass knuckles and the knife. But yeah, it was originally where it became known as the Apache Knuckle Duster because apparently it was favored by gangs in Paris around the turn of the century. Yeah, quite a unique looking gun. And
Because of gangs in Paris, they call it the Apache? How does that even make any sense?
because apparently these gangs were as vicious as the American Apaches. So they got this
Oh,
reputation.
please.
I'm just telling you what the history is. I mean, obviously, look at the guns they carry.
You know what this looks like? This looks like the J.M. Davis firearms, to me right there.
It kind of does.
Odd looking one, though.
Yeah. They're
But-
quite an interesting gun. Yeah.
That looks like one there. This is Winchester Arms Collection, so this might be in Cody.
Yeah.
Or Cody, Wyoming.
So they're made basically in Belgium and France, and you don't even know exactly
You
how
think-
they're made, but several manufacturers produce them.
You think they're legit or just made to be like garbage, like you'd see at a gun show, just garbage, like Pakistani?
No, I think they were made. I think they were made to be an actual usable firearm. They were just a weird idea that somebody thought would.
No, they just so fragile. If you think you're gonna put in this configuration, put your fingers like this and then shoot it, or punch somebody with it, just seems so fragile. I don't see it doing much.
Well, they're solid brass, those knuckles. So,
So
yeah, and then plus you got the weight of the cylinder and everything in your hand. You've got a fair bit of weight there on a punch. I mean, it's like hitting somebody with a roll of quarters in your fist.
yeah, and you're punching them with that little connection spot and that little hinge right there. That's my concern. Is that
a hinge and then there's a pin, but it's in your grip, right? So,
yeah, so you're gonna twist it and torque on it? No, that seems really fragile to me.
well, it probably
If this was way, anyhow, I think it's neat. I've seen it a bunch of times, except not in real life. You ever seen one in real life?
Yeah, I did actually. My local gun shop had one. They ended up selling it to that pawn shop in Vegas.
How much?
I don't know what he got. He didn't get as much as he wanted. I think he only got like $4,000 or something for it.
$4,000. That's too much money.
Well, they're pretty rare.
I'd want one of these.
Yeah, kind of interesting.
Yep, that was an interesting gun of the day. So we try to come up with a different kind of gun every day, and Bob does that, and that was the gun right there, and now you know about it. So I think we might be done with the show. See how fast it goes when we don't have these other guys weighing us down? 37 minutes.
We didn't talk about how much ammo you keep on hand.
Oh, how much ammo can you hold in your hand?
I think they mean how much do you keep now. Lots of people. Was it never enough ammo? He's like 5,000 rounds for everything. It depends on whether you're a prepper or just a shooter, or or somewhere in between.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess, but if you're a shooter, then you're an idiot if you just buy enough ammo to go shooting with all the time, because unless you don't plan on shooting ever again, and you think every single time you go shooting is gonna be the last time you're ever gonna go shooting, way to go. But since anything else most people buy that they know they're going to be buying a lot of, they buy in bulk. They go to places like to buy it in bulk so that they're not wasting their time going to the store every time, and they're not wasting their money going to the store for little purchases. As soon as you know you like something, you buy it in bulk, right? So I can't imagine you don't have to be a prepper to want to save money. And ammo is one of those things that always goes up. It never goes down, always goes up in price. So you always are better off to buy a bunch of ammo. And there's all kinds of other reasons why it's beneficial to buy a bunch of ammo, but just for the cost-wise, I'd say you have to have as much ammo as you possibly can. Everybody should.
Yeah.
You know why it's good as an investment? Because it's hard to spend. You can definitely barter it, but if you do some sort of a strategy to accumulate, buy 2 for everyone you're going to shoot. So if you're going to go shooting this weekend, buy 2 boxes of ammo, shoot one of them and leave the other one on the shelf and forget about it. You go shooting next weekend, you buy 2 boxes of ammo. Even though you're only going to shoot 1, you put the other box on the shelf and you forget about it. A little while, you're in the big leagues compared to some of the people that only ever buy as much ammo as they need, and then the only ammo they accumulate is what's left over from their shooting sessions. I know so many people like that, and it's weird. I don't understand it.
Yeah, they got
it's like,
boxes.
well, I'm going to go to the store and buy food for the week, and I'm trying to save money, so I'm going to buy a bunch of food that I can make my own meals and stuff. But I'm only going to buy enough food to buy 1 serving or whatever. I'm only going to buy enough food to make 1 serving of one thing. I mean, that would be ultimately expensive again, right? You know that when you go to the store, you buy a big thing of macaroni because you make a handful of it every time or whatever, and then you save money. Well, if you went to the store and bought single serve packings of everything, you're not saving any money going to the store. You might as well just go out to eat. So same kind of thing with ammo, right? If you're going to only ever shoot and then the only thing you accumulate is that stuff, then you'll never really accumulate. You'll save 2 or 3 rounds at a time or 20 rounds at a time.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, the truth of it is that there's money savings by buying in bulk. A lot of times you can save, if you buy a crate of ammo, you don't have to pay shipping. Well, that's a good deal, because then it's just you're getting it at a volume price, and then you're not having to pay shipping. And shit, the stuff in the crates is the best stuff if you want to just keep a supply, because it's, you know, usually in sealed cans, so it'll keep for years and years and years. And like anytime I buy ammo, I try to buy in bulk if I can, you know. Just makes sense. Like I've got, I don't know, 10 cans of ammo for my main, you know, rifle that I'm going to use in shit hit the fan. And, you know, for rimfire rounds, oh, geez, you know, those things are cheap. So you should have been buying them years ago and just stockpiling them. Yeah, it's just, it's like you say, it's the same as what you do when you go buy groceries. You're in the store and it's like, oh, I like this, you know, this kind of food, and it's 2 for 1. Well, I'll buy 2. I get that one for free. And that one I got for free, I'm going to put in the back of the cupboard. Right? And then every time you buy groceries, if you can get those kind of deals, you're basically not paying any extra to put up, you know, to put yourself some prep away. So why not? Do the same thing with ammo if you can. And free shipping is almost like getting one for free or something for free.
So I don't know. In the past, I've always said for practicality or for like just good citizenship, I would think you'd need, I don't know, 3,000 per gun. You know, I don't think there's any max on caliber or anything. I know people that have no maximum on ammo, and I know people that never buy ammo except for when they go to the range and they barely even save what is extra. They'll give it to people. Like I know people that just don't see any advantage. They don't want extra ammo around. I don't know why. But anyway, I know people that buy more ammo than most people can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can have too much. Like I say, I think it's a good investment. And even if you quit shooting or you can't shoot or something happens, I mean, I guess if a law changes and it's illegal for anyone to shoot, there's still going to be a black market. We all know that, but you know, that might be the one situation where it'd be difficult to get your money back on ammo. But aside from that ridiculous potential, there's really no loss in putting money into ammo. And I think as just a good citizen, you want to be a part of the distribution of ammunition all over the country, so that whole, you know, behind every blade of grass has a stack of ammo. So the only way that happens efficiently, distributes it for us, is for all of us to accumulate some. So I'm thinking 3,000 per gun, and then that's what you'd have, and then you never touch. So you build 2 and then never touch, and then depending on how many guns you got and how much ammo you end up with after all that, then you figure out how you're going to store it, and then you figure out, you know, whatever that's going to be. If that's going to be a room, or if it's going to be a shelf, or if it's going to be a basement room, or whatever the hell it's going to end up being, figure out how to build to that room, right? So that's what I would say is a good do. But you see, everybody's different. If we're talking to somebody who's traveling and living in, you know, traveling with work and living in hotels and stuff, it's a whole different situation, obviously, than somebody who's got a house and, you know, roots and is planning on staying there for a long time. And you know, that's different than somebody who's just bought a house and they're planning on buying a new house in 2 years, and you know, you don't really have plans to settle in. So everybody's gonna be a little different, I suppose. So how much ammo do you have on hand is how much you can carry, like what your loadout is, times 4, maybe times 5. So in other words, what you can carry, and then have 5 reloads in your vehicle. I don't know, that doesn't get you very far, really, when you start thinking about all kinds of situations.
It's like, you know, when I'm traveling in the RV and in the camper, I mean, there's a finite limit on how much I can stock, but I can still have like 500 rounds for the shotgun, you know, 4,000 rounds for the 22, and, you know, 500 rounds or 1,000 rounds for the 7.62. So, you know, you can still carry a fair amount. But you run into the weight limitations, like just having to move it from one vehicle to another, or having to move it, you know, around the camper or something, it can be a real pain in the ass.
You say 1,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39?
Yeah.
That's heavy as hell. Most people aren't going to walk around with 1,000 rounds.
Oh, I don't walk around with it. It's in the camper.
Oh, you drag around 1,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
So,
a can and a bit, right? So you carry a can for your emergency rations of ammo, and then you've got, you know, whatever boxed ammo that you're going to shoot, and you just keep that can as, you know, when shit hits the fan. Because they're made to bounce around in the vehicle.
right. So, HVS is talking about being on the top floor. Oh, I guess that's what he's saying. When the, you know, when you have enough ammo, when the place collapses from the weight of the ammo. Yeah, I guess that's too much.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know, when the floor of your gun room starts creaking alarmingly.
All right, so then they're talking about ammo over on the YouTube side. So it was an interesting point. You know, what's the next big thing, and the concept of, you know, what's the next ammo going to be? Because lead's filthy and bad for the environment. And it's heavy and it's, you know, it doesn't taste good. So metal in polymer is, I guess, what they're talking about. I think, if I'm reading it all right. And that sounds kind of interesting. Taking a metal slug, a steel slug, wrapping it in polymer. I mean,
Yep.
they've already done that with copper. I don't know if polymer would hold up well to a barrel, but then we're talking metal barrels, big barrel, or a plastic barrel, or I don't know, some kind of force field barrel or something, some kind of barrel that has a negative charge on the inside so that the positive charge on the polymer or something, you know, gives it a frictionless situation. I don't know. So yeah, I think that might be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I would think the polymer would save on barrel wear. And like it's, you know, once you let that round go down range, it's not like you're going to reuse it. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, like the polymer clad ammo with a, you know, either steel or a brass bullet. But then you're running into, then there's going to have to be some real innovation in ammo design to get some punch. There's one nice thing about lead is it deforms perfectly to become a projectile, like as a projectile, or almost, right? It's soft. Even the early muzzle loaders, you know, big soft lead ball, when that thing hit something, it was devastating.
Well, the good news for us is we've got all these. The good news for us is we got all these kids with their fidget spinners, and they're like literally learning physics and trajectories and hyperbolas and stuff in their hands. So we'll just sit back and wait for the science to flood in on us. All right. Well, that made Bob up, so that's good. So I think we talked about the movie. I think we talked about. Oh, it's already 50 minutes. We've more than fulfilled our obligation to these people. We're done. We don't even have to act like we're doing anymore. We're done.
Yep.
So this was episode 365. We'll be back on Monday with episode 366. On Mondays, we talk about social media and using these social media audiences, I guess, or what do you want to call, like communities, and thinking of them as far as gun-related stuff. So we'll talk about a little bit of that. I'm hoping I don't know if Clover Tech is out there right now, but I'm hoping, yeah, he's on the YouTube side. I'm hoping that Clover Tech might be able to join us on Monday and tell us a little bit about the equipment that he uses. We don't really have a topic yet, I don't think, or if we did, somebody deleted it because I don't see anything in there. And I've been curious as to if he takes his videos on phones or on cameras, and I'm sure he's doing his live stuff with a webcam. He uses a webcam. I'm very curious if it's one on the computer, or if it's a special one. So maybe we'll have him on to talk about some of his equipment if he's able. Anyway, that'll be Monday. We also talk about the events that are coming up over on Gun Channels. We have a calendar. Anybody's who's a member of Gun Channels is welcome to add things to the calendar. It's under resources. So at the top of each page, there's a short menu. The one under resources gives you the calendar. When you open the calendar up, towards the top there somewhere, you can click add a new event. So add a new event, add shooting events that you attend, events that you'd like to attend, events that you've heard of, events that are on the other side of the country that you think would be interesting. Things there, you're going to let the other people on Gun Channels know about it, which is just a nice favor to do. And you're going to help that event out in a couple of ways. You're going to let other people know about it, which is always nice. But then you're going to be creating links out on the internet for that event. Now we have a lot of people that go to Gun Channels, so it's an established website. And when the internet, when Google, when Bing, when Yahoo, I don't know, whoever the search engines are anymore, when they go out to see what's valid, what's worth recommending, what's a good website, what's a good event, they're looking for cross links, they're looking for attention given to things like an event. So by posting them over on Gun Channels, you're helping those events out. So it's one of the reasons we built the tool. We built the community so that it could its momentum could help pull some of the gun owners' rights groups along, some of the local shooting centers or ranges, or even clubs. Fill in the calendar over there. Like I said, that's what it's for. So we'll be checking that out on Monday, as well as all the stuff we do on a regular basis. Hopefully we'll be out on the road a little bit this weekend, so maybe we'll have some new gun shops for the tour before Monday. But if not, we will. Tonight we have. Does Clover Tack have a show tonight too? He does. His original show is on Friday, so we'll be talking to Clover Tack tonight on Gun Channels. Also, Edge of the Week usually does a show over on Gun Channels. He had an excellent show last week, specifically about Gun Channels. No one really does that often. So thanks, Edge, for doing that. Anyway, Edge will be doing his show from San Antonio later on tonight. Then tomorrow we'll have, I think Travis is doing Caliber Corner early in the morning, at least early in the morning for the West Coast. I think it's morning for the East Coast. And later on in the day, Rick does Rick's Life as I See It from Rhode Island. And maybe we'll have some kind of van chat. I've been working on the van. Bob's been working on his van, so maybe we'll get together and do some kind of van chats this weekend. Yeah. Jimmy plans this weekend as well. So we'll see what happens live. I do have the AT&T Live unlimited internet now from the van. The van is constantly online, unlimited, free now. So not free, but online all the time now. So all kinds of potential for live stuff. Check out the Gun Website's YouTube channel, the Gear Website's YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed to that one, I've been going live with van updates and just doing stuff on the road and testing things out. Showed the gun shops though will be over on Gun Website's channel. Otherwise though, I think that's everything. Yankee and Matt do shows on Sunday. Yoder, Texas usually posts the Come and Talk It show out of Texas. Notice how many shows come out of Texas that are gun related and grassroots.
Yeah,
a lot of gun related. Oh, Clover Tech is saying 10 o'clock Eastern is his show, and then Edge is at 11 o'clock Eastern. So they go double back to back, whatever you call them. There are heavier metals. Projectiles over there on the YouTube side. Van contest, Bob's van versus my van. Drag racing.
Yeah, I don't think a drag race would be very fair. Being that
mine's like a tank. Mine drives like a bulldozer, like a tractor. Like it can get to 75 miles an hour eventually, but
mine will get there too, but it's about it. It's big. I'm actually going to put a video up probably tonight about the campers or the RV since I washed it, and yeah, you'll see it's quite a bit larger than G Webb's, but it is a van, at least the front part. So yeah, it wouldn't be much of a drag.
We'll have a contest on dog will poop in more.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, because I've had problems with Charlie being stuck on the freeway and him deciding that's when he's got to go.
Oh yeah, well they're gonna go when they feel like. Anyway, that's enough for that stuff for that. So we can keep going. That would be the end of the show, I think.
Yep.
Monday, there was a theme to the members, featured members of the day from Gun Channels this week, and I don't think anybody came up with it. So maybe we'll talk about it next week, or maybe you'll send an email, dailygunshow@gmail.com, and I think what was in common with all those people. It was Foos today, Night Strike yesterday, Z, Island Z before that, Smeggy, and then Never Enough Ammo. Never Enough Ammo, Smeggy, Island Z, Night Strike, and Foos. There's something they all have in common.
Who could it be? What is the connection?
And oh, we can do history. It's for at the end here. Let's see if anything could happen today. Nope, nope, nope. 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 The 14th Amendment to the Constitution, with guaranteed citizenship to all those born or naturalized in the United States, is adopted today in 1868. That's kind of neat. 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, adopted today in 1868. Pancho Villa surrendered to the Mexican government today in 1920.
You're a long run, eh?
In 1945, a B-25 bomber crashed into the Empire State Building, killing 13 people. Do you remember that? I remember seeing that picture all the time, where there's the bomber just like smashed into the side of the building, sitting there.
Yeah, hanging out the building. That was where a woman was in the elevator, and one of the engines from the bomber sheared all the elevator cables, and the elevator dropped to the bottom of the Empire State Building, and yet she survived.
What? An elevator can't drop. I thought there's all kinds of things that don't even physically let it drop.
Not if 4,000-pound engine was flying through it, breaks everything inside it. Yeah, that was one of the things that was miracle. There's a lot of miracles happen, like the fact that plane didn't, it was just amazing that worse didn't happen.
Well, other than that, there doesn't seem to be that many interesting things. A lot of stuff happened in France. I don't know what's the big deal about France today. Big French Day.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna quit saying that's about it, and that'll be the end of the show. You get what you get. It's Friday. I need to go to the mail place. I don't know what Bob's doing. I don't know where Smeggy's at. I guess he's eating with Nut, right? Melda Nut.
Yep.
And
yeah.
We don't know where Dano is on Fridays. He does something on Fridays. He doesn't tell us what it is.
No, we don't want to know.
Oh, so we'll see you all Monday. Nobody even watched today. Maybe just...
maybe we're just talking to ourselves. We'll finish it up like every other show. So, let's end it. Let's kill this baby. Let's kill this baby.
Let's end it. How about that? I don't think we need to kill a baby. Weird.
So we always end our show with a quote. Today's quote is by Kurt Voigt. But before that, I want to remind everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you can, please help us on, donate on Patreon. If you can't do that, think about maybe buying some stuff from your website store. That will help as well. So anyway, our quote today, Kurt Voigt.
Isn't that Kurt Vonnegut?
Yeah, okay, Vonnegut. Boyd Vonnegut, same thing. Another flaw in the human character is that everybody wants to build and nobody wants to do the maintenance. Now, isn't that true about life in general, right? Well, it's a lot more fun to build something than it is to maintain it and keep it going. So on that applies to a lot of things in our life, as well as defending the Second Amendment. We got to maintain and keep what we got. We got to maintain gun stores by utilizing them. We don't want to lose them. That's why one of the reasons we started this show. So thanks everybody for watching and listening, and we'll see you all on Monday. Probably we might see you in a van chat on the weekend. So other than that, we'll see you Monday.
The guys and gals at GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.